you know who you're pulling today? I don't know if you know, but I know I'm pulling Iuno. Hello, sweetizens. Alert, alert. I completely forgot about Iuno. I didn't even realize she was releasing today. So this will be a quick and concise video about everything you need to know for Iuno. Let's get started. Iuno is an aerial feat DPS, support, and healer. She can also play as a main DPS, but more on that later. As a support, Iuno gives 50% heavy attack amplification to the next resonator, and up to 40% all-type damage amp. However, and this part is important, this 40% amp is conditional on the active character gaining a shield inside the domain that she creates. One shield is only one stack, which only gives 4% amp. So you need someone who can gain a lot of shields in order to get 10 shields for the max 40% amp. Currently, only Iuno and Augusta can max out on the 40%. As a healer, Iuno heals with all her Forte attacks, and throughout a 30-second rotation, Iuno heals around 15,000 to all the resonators. For comparison, Shorekeeper heals around 20k, so her healing is actually pretty decent. As a sub-DPS, Iuno can deal around 400k to 500k with her rotation, which only takes around 8 seconds. Here's how Iuno works. Your main goal in Iuno is to enter her into the lunar cycle new moon state, where she unlocks a new resonance skill, gets to shoot with her feet on her bow for ranged attacks, and while she has Forte, all her attacks deal extra damage and heals the team. By default, Iuno starts in her basic form. Her Forte gauge will be green, and then the moon in the middle will be grayed out. To enter lunar cycle, you can either use your Resonance Liberation, or you can use her Enhanced Resonance skill, which unlocks after her normal Resonance skill, her Basic Attack 3, or her Intro skill. As you can see here though, the Enhanced Resonance skill takes a while to cast. But one trick is, you can cancel it as soon as you cast it, and then Iuno will still enter lunar cycle. While in the lunar cycle, Iuno can become a UFO! Lunar cycle lasts for 15 seconds, and her Forte gauge turns blue during this time, and then by default when she first enters, she is in a half-moon state. During the half-moon state, Iuno attacking enemies will build Forte gauge, and she is also on the ground, and she is in her melee moon green form. To swap to new moon, or to swap between her moons, simply press the jump key. This can also be cancelled if you want to go quicker. New moon is Iuno's Forte consumption state. Iuno unlocks a new resonance skill, and Iuno uses up her Forte to deal extra damage and heal the team, as well as build extra concerto energy. And when Iuno's concerto energy is full, you can hold heavy to cast her special heavy attack. Iuno summons the moon and then paints it into the sky. This summons a full moon domain, and it remains on the field for 30 seconds, periodically healing all resonators on the team and granting the amplification buff I mentioned prior. On a team, Iuno is almost exclusively in her new moon state because Iuno actually gains full Forte from using her intro plus liberation. Her intro fills up her Forte gauge by 40%, and then her liberation fills it up by 60%. So your typical Iuno rotation will look like this. Let me scroll to Iuno's rotation. Look what I found! Look at this high quality feat! Wow, they really rendered her feet in high detail. Starting from Shorekeeper outro, after Iuno intros, you can directly use her Enhanced Resonance skill and then immediately cancel with her Liberation. This is because her Enhanced Resonance skill takes a really long time, and we're mostly casting it to gain stacks for her buffs. So here we have her beautiful Resonance Liberation. I paused on the wrong frame. After casting Liberation, you can directly press the jump key to enter Lunar Cycle Full Moon, and then she can immediately press her basic 1, 2, 3, and then use her 2 new skills, which she unlocks during this state. And then we hold heavy, and then she can outro. Her rotation is super quick, around 7 to 8 seconds, and then you can immediately outro as soon as you press heavy attack. Here's a graphic of what her actual rotation looks like. Intro, Enhance Resonance skill, cancel with Liberation, press Dump to go into her Full Moon ranged bow mode, and then basic 1, 2, 3 plus skill twice, and then you can hold heavy to outro. Oh, and don't forget to use her echo somewhere in there. As for her damage breakdown, here's a sneak peek at something I've been working on for a while. Mostly for personal use to help me keep track of my rotation damage, as well as all the different buff states. As you can see, let me add my Shorekeeper buffs. For our Iuno with her signature and these stats, she deals over 500k with Shorekeeper buffs, and then she also heals around almost 18k over 30 seconds. And then for the damage breakdown, almost 90% of all her damage is coming from Resonance Liberation type damage. Most of her damage is coming from Resonance Liberation, and then her moon bow attacks, which is when she goes into the air and she starts shooting, as well as her 2 new Forte skills that unlock after she goes into her full moon state. Iuno's Forte Heavy doesn't actually deal very much damage, though it does heal for a decent chunk. In terms of Iuno's teams, her strongest team will be the Sun and the Moon duo with Augusta. The team is on par with Cartadia, Shakona, and is visually very stunning as well. Our Sun and Moon duo with this striking visual, wow. Iuno's personal damage is especially useful for clearing smaller mobs, and Augusta also gets to benefit from the full 40% extra amp from Iuno's field. Outside of Augusta, you can use Iuno to support Jiyan, but damage-wise, she will not be a huge improvement over S6 Murtefi. For those of you interested in Iuno as a main DPS, Shakona with her signature will be Iuno's best sub-DPS and support partner. This duo is actually quite fun to play, especially if you like swapping around, as there are a lot of different variations for the team rotation. In general, your team setup for Iuno will be Iuno as a heavy attack DPS, plus a support or another sub-DPS. Unfortunately, while Iuno can heal, her buffs are a lot more specific. For Iuno's weapon choices, here are the comparisons. For those of you with Xiao Liao's signature, you can directly transfer it over to Iuno and it will be good to go. For Iuno's echoes, you can either put her on movement with Augusta or crown plus 2-piece arrow. For her Forte priority, focus on maxing her Forte circuit, followed by Resonance skill and Liberation. Here are Iuno's sequence comparisons. S6 anyone? In summary, Iuno is a must-pull for the feed enjoyers, and also a decent sub-DPS, support, and healer that pairs perfectly with Augusta to form one of the game's strongest teams. She can also play as a hyper carry with Shakona, or as a support for Jiyan. I think that's it for this quick video. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and let me know in the comments what you think about Iuno and if you have any other questions. I will be streaming my Iuno polls and the part 2 story, so see you on stream or in my next video.